Speaking with Nick Ferrari at breakfast, Sir Mark Rowley was asked to clarify whether the stabbing which left 3 people dead and 10 injured was classed as an act of terrorism. He admitted, not on the law as it is today, no. Let's discuss this with Daw KC, criminal barrister at Millennium Chambers and author of the book Justice on Trial. Hello, Chris. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Lots of people have talked a great deal about the definition of a crime as a terrorist crime. Why is this so important?
Well, I personally don't think that it is important, and I don't really understand why the focus is on that rather than...
I must say, I've said exactly the same on LBC all week. I don't see why it's important either. Why is everyone focusing on it, in your opinion?
Well, you'd have to ask them, but obviously, but I think from my point of view, the reason I say it's not important is because this case really comes down to what lessons we can learn from the deaths of these children and obviously the catastrophic injuries to so many others, to try to find a way when we see children, and we know that this defendant was 12 years old when he was threatening to kill people originally, yes. Several years ago. What lessons can we learn as to how it went from that to a situation where he was able to obtain weapons online, and B, he was able and motivated to go and actually kill young children. Yes. For me, that's what it should be about, rather than some sort of technical or argument around wording as to whether something is terrorism or not. This is a shocking, horrific series of killings and series of serious attacks on members of the public in the most vulnerable of places that you could possibly imagine. And for me, it matters not what you call it. What matters is what we do about it.
All right, next question. Met Chief Sir Mark Rowley told Nick Ferrari here on LBC that police chiefs should be able to share more information about trials to stop social media rumour from running wild.
Well, there is some sense in that, I have to say, because at the moment, I think many police forces and police officers involved in these investigations, understandably, are focused on getting on with the investigation, gathering the evidence. They're not focused on briefing the public in the way that, for example, if you ever watch an American criminal investigation or a murder that's just taken place, you will see police chiefs giving very detailed briefings, as almost blow by blow, as they gather evidence and as they speak to witnesses and as they find things. For me, there must be a happy medium where you can inform the public on the key and important strands of the investigation which may affect public behaviour, including, of course, as we know in this case, a propensity to go on to commit rioting and other acts of vandalism and violence. Of course, we need to find a way to try to ensure that that doesn't happen, and by revealing sufficient information for the public to be reassured, if that's possible. But ultimately, we do have to have respect for the criminal process, and we are not America. We don't have trial by television. We don't let every single detail go into the public domain, even before the trial. I personally think that's the right way to do things. There may well, however, as Sir Mark Rowley said this morning, there may be a middle ground where more information can be released, but it has to be done very carefully, and it has to have an eye in the end on whether a defendant can have a fair trial.
Daw KC, thank you very much indeed.